Hello and welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Eric, joined once again with this guy.
Bevan. Hey, how you going, guys?
Bringing you some more Footballers' Wives, episodes 7 and 8, wrapping up series 1, season 1, whatever you want to call it. Tommy, roll the credits and we'll chat. Alright. Episode 7 is All Credit to the Lads. Stefan and Frank talk about Ian being team captain now. If something happens to the other dude, I don't know that other dude's name. I never got it.
Jason?
No, the one that he's like team captain right now, kind of filling in. It's like a not important character, I guess, at this point. I guess not if you don't know who I'm talking about.
This happens a lot because you don't know names. So, like,
yeah, I don't. I know the main people. It's one of the side characters.
Okay.
He's like temporarily team captain or whatever.
Well, Jason's on suspension technically, isn't he?
What?
Is Jason on suspension or was he just benched?
Yeah. He's benched. Like, no, he quit.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. And they're shopping around. Yeah.
So Frank is being nagged by his ex Marguerite. Chardonnay passes out in the steam room, so we're like, okay, what's going on with this bitch?
Yeah, it was always something.
I feel bad for her. Jackie tells Jason about her being pregnant. She's like 70 years old and preggers. Now she's probably like, what is she, like 50 something maybe? Maybe late 40s? I don't know what she's supposed to be.
I would say Jackie's probably in her early 50s.
Early 50s, yeah.
Because you see Kyle, he's at least in his, well, I don't know, like I think they're supposed to be early 20s, but I don't know, I always peak them probably about 24, 25, and Jason and Tanya are maybe nearly 30, because they're always sort of, the way they show them, they seem older than some of the other ones. They've been in the business for longer, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Just that sort of stuff. So I'd say like Jason and Tanya are probably closer to their 30s.
So Jason's like assuming that she's gonna get like the baby eliminated, aborted.
Well, they talk about it, don't they? And she's like telling him, I didn't even think I could get pregnant, like blah, blah, blah. And he's kind of only thinking about himself. He's
of
just
course.
like,
that's very Jason.
Yeah, Jackie, I can't have a baby.
I can't have a baby.
He flat out just said it like that. He's like,
I'll give you whatever money you need to take care of whatever you got to take care of. She's like, I'm not killing the baby. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, and Jackie's kind of just outraged.
And of course, she's going through it. It's like at one point, I think she does think of aborting the baby. I mean, she's,
Oh, well, those are the thoughts that go through your head, but it's probably not the thing that you want to hear from the person that helped make it. You know?
Right. Well, I mean,
off, like not flat out straight away. And that's what Jason does.
Honestly, she must not really know this man because he's clearly a tool.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like she should know better. Being in her early 50s.
I think that's how Jackie kind of is feeling about all this, isn't she? She's very like, I didn't think I could get pregnant. Like, what the hell? You know, like she's kind
of No. I'm just saying for Jason, like knowing Jason, she's probably known him for a while now, and like I don't know.
I mean, it's Kyle's best friend type thing.
Did you think he was going to be like, "Oh, I'm going to welcome this baby in the world"? You know, like,
you know how those douches make people feel. They always feel like someone feel like different. So Jason is a douche. I do love the actor. Jason is a goddamn douche.
They call it love bombing, right? Yeah, he is. He's a great actor. I got to look at his stuff. I'm going to see what else he's in.
That's stage work.
Really? He does stage work?
Yeah, a lot of it, like theater and stuff.
Wow, that's cool. So yeah, tells her whatever she needs. He's like, basically, I don't want the baby. But do what you got to do.
It's theater. Anyway, so I just remember reading about him at some point, and I'm fairly certain before Wives, he was big on like stage and stuff like that.
Okay.
Or at least prominent, yeah. And then into it afterwards.
Tanya and Frank see each other at some point. He says he can't remember at all them being together. He has
Mm,
some kind of weird flash. So you're like, is he remembering? Like, we don't know what's going on with him exactly.
yeah. And then
Um,
the splashes get more intense, but we'll get to that.
yeah. Frank wants to help Tanya whip Jason into shape because, of course, they did that article where he was like fat because he was like whatever. I guess because he's unemployed right now
Well,
as he
this is
quit.
where this is where they were talking about it, like in the first episode, where like Jason and Tanya are so offended by the fact that Frank kept Biaggi's signing a secret and all that, because it's
Yeah,
basically like more or less replacing him without replacing him. And this is where you see that friendship or elements of that friendship kind of existing, because we only had an episode before, like the full episode before Frank was knocked out, you know? So, like, this is where you see elements of that kind of still existing. And I actually
yeah,
think some of these scenes, despite what happens, I think some of these scenes are well done enough through the actors that you feel that their words carry their history. It's not just what's happened; it carries the
right.
history of like their involvement with each other. So I do think that given how small the series is in episode counts, you can actually still get a lot just from the character, like the way they've been characterized.
So he hires like Frank hires this woman like Hazel to whip him into shape. She's
Hazel,
a character.
yes, she is awesome too.
Chardonnay answers the phone or whatever and finds out that she's pregnant. Which this was a nice twist because I didn't really see this coming. What happens
Yeah.
in a little bit.
Although it does have kind of like I couldn't help but kind of like the results. I kind of laughed at the same time. So like, I'll tell you what I mean, but keep going. Like,
Frank's having nightmares about Jeanette
yeah. Well,
because she, molested him and probably had sex with him.
oh
It
yeah,
looks
she
okay.
absolutely did. Yeah, that's why in later
Ew.
flashbacks. That's why in later flashbacks, why? Because he's sitting down and he can see her on top of him.
I
Yeah,
didn't. Well, I know what we saw. We didn't see that. So
yeah.
yeah, I
I
guess
mean,
this is like a new revelation.
yeah. Well, the show does kind of push. There's couple of sex scenes in the later seasons where you're like, well, you know?
Clutch your
But
pearls.
yeah, not shocking by today's standards or anything, but jarring even to the now. I mean, I've like I said to you outside of the podcast, I've watched further seasons and I'd forgotten about certain things, but there's in the locker room and suddenly there's like five dicks out and like just in proximity. They get more risque with that. I mean, there's a sex scene with Tanya and another character in series three that I was just like, oh Jesus, like okay. I still was like that this time. I was just like, oh, it's not as nudie as I thought.
Right. So Frank tells Marguerite. I guess Marguerite has been there for Frank throughout this whole thing, and like maybe they were getting closer, and they
I
might have
think
even been like
I think
they
that
might
she's
have
closer.
they might have actually been getting closer, but we don't really know 100% because he doesn't remember some things. But he
Well,
tells Marguerite that there's someone else, and
yeah,
that's Tanya.
and she gets
Which,
upset and like jealous again because it was kind of like a reenactment of how they broke up. But that was the whole thing. Like the scenes between Marguerite and Frank, he's just put out by her. Like he knows that she's trying to help,
right,
and he's put out by her. She annoys him, and
she's
and
naggy and all
yeah,
that.
and he
Just like
mentions
when
why
they were
they're
married, I guess.
yeah, yeah, it was like they were
Right.
married. And like, that's what I mean. I wish the show had gotten more episodes a season because even like even more of a scene between them two, I think would have been good. But I just, like I said, I think the actors really do carry through with weight in their, like they carry the weight in their dialogue.
Right.
And I just think that's really good considering it is limited.
So Chardonnay, I guess, tells her the person she's working for, the magazine guy or whatever, that she's pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and he comes up with this great idea to do like a mother's spread or
Spread,
whatever,
yeah.
which I guess is good. So she's excited, he's happy, whatever. I didn't
Yeah,
know how that was
it's
going to
a bit
go
more
for her.
positive, like positive press considering what's happened recently, and also
Right.
the whole articles about like Kyle not wanting to have sex with her and shit like that. So like all of this would be all completely the opposite of that, and
Yeah.
like evidence as such, blah blah blah. So you know,
So Sheena, of course, pops up at one of the games. Kyle sees her around. I thought she was going
mhm.
to be gone, but she's still hanging in there.
She does.
Jason meets up with Hazel, tells him to work his ass out.
Mhm.
Jackie goes to her doctor. She talks about abortion. The doctor's like, "Are you sure?" And
Yeah.
then she talks about the problem with Chardonnay, and she's like, "Oh, she's pregnant," and then she figures out it was a wrong phone call.
Yes, the wrong Mrs. Pasco answered the phone.
I was like, "Oh man!" I was like thinking, I'm like, "Oh shit, they could raise their babies together. That'll be fun." But
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 also too, right, the diagnosis that actually comes from this on Chardonnay is that she's anorexic. Like she can't actually conceive a child.
yeah,
And for some reason, that just made me kind of laugh. It's like, oh, sorry, Mrs. Pasco, this one's pregnant. You have an eating disorder. Like, and I was just like,
oops.
wah, wah, wow. I don't know. It's just a little
um,
bit of dark humor in my head where I just was like,
yeah. So I guess Sheen is still around, and Kyle doesn't really give her the time of day. He's like, I can't cheat, I have a wife, whatever. He's still throwing that to her. I feel like it's definitely gonna happen eventually, but I could be wrong.
actually, I don't know if it's
Um,
so much. Sorry, just to clarify, I don't know if it's so much that she's like diagnosed proper anorexic. It's just that she, given her issues like that and stuff like that in the past,
Chardonnay, you mean, right?
yeah, yeah,
Mm,
it makes it difficult for her to carry a child to full term now. So she could conceive, but it probably wouldn't carry to full term.
right. Um,
Something like that.
Jackie's Jackie sees the paper, and it's like Chardonnay and Kyle's announcement, the baby announcement. She's like, "Oh shit." Um, Ian wants Donna to get new clothes. I was like, this came out of nowhere. And then they had weird
Yeah.
sex, and I was thrown off by that.
So, and because he was like sitting there, like preening and like peacocking in the mirror while he was doing it. Is
Yeah, it
that
was weird.
scene?
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's because Ian's looking to take over as captain and he's getting all full of himself. He's getting into the idea of like, it's like him trying to embrace that stardom element. And him and, oh my God, Donna.
Salvatore. Oh, Donna.
I literally just blanked for a second. I was like, what's his wife's name? No. Him and Donna are like the sort of, they come from the sort of, like classic roots type thing. They're not all high class and everything,
Right.
So like they come from a very like middle class working background, and he's sort of going for the superstar, and she's still down to earth, and he's getting heightened, and it's
Right,
just
right. And then
furthering the divide between them.
she's
So
like,
she put him in a three-way.
right, and she's like laying there, just like, oh God, what is happening?
Yeah, she's even a bit confused by it. Like, and I think
And
that's the thing. I
then,
think that's why you get that from that scene too, because it is. I, I remember that scene coming up, and I was like, oh, that's right. Fast forward, because I'm like, it's not even super like dirty or anything. It's just a really
right.
uncomfortable scene to watch. She's like, what is he doing? But that's he's basically peacocking because he's in looking at himself in the mirror, being like, I'm the man. It's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah.
So in the kitchen,
Yeah.
Salvatore is in his boxer briefs, and I'm like, I know exactly what was going to happen in this moment. So I'm like, is this where we're going with Donna? Because I was thinking like Donna's pretty boring right now, and she does nothing. So
Yeah.
Donna comes in, they talk. She goes to leave, and then she comes back in, and they kiss. I'm like, oh, all right,
Mm.
and
Oh,
they
also,
bang.
I think it starts in this episode and then obviously plays out in the last of the series. But we start to see like Marie at times running around with Holly, the kid, Donna and
Yeah,
Ian. And there's a mysterioso person with a ringed finger watching them. And that
Right.
happens. That also. So I only wanted to mention that just because I know we'd go over it, but it's just littered throughout. It happens a little bit earlier on in the episode. There's like a weird thing, and then there's like a second one, and then obviously this plays out over the series final.
Right.
Season final.
I guess I missed that stuff earlier because I didn't see it until later.
It was only like one or two scenes, and then in the last episode, obviously there's full scenes where it plays out. But like
Right.
it starts to allude to it, and it shows like Marie like running with Holly on the street after school, and there's like a dude in a car with the ringed finger.
Right.
But
So
yeah,
Donna
just wanted to throw that in there that someone's watching the Walmsleys.
Donna tells him that he should probably go because it's going to be really awkward. Jackie breaks the news to Kyle and Chardonnay that she's pregnant. The game is fucked. I don't know if that's important. I guess it is because they lost the game. The footballers lost the game or whatever.
Yeah.
Which means they probably want Jason back.
Yeah, so
which
Jason
leads to that.
I was at Jason, Tanya, and Hazel all sitting by the pool listening to the game, and Jason's like cheering when they lose and stuff like that because he knows
Tanya
look good.
Tanya and Jason both celebrate. Frank and Sale get Jason back on Sparks. And this is where I have someone scribbles over Anne and Donna's face in some magazine picture photo shoot that they did. So that's the first time I got that weird vibe. I didn't notice anything earlier than that, I guess.
Yeah.
Frank tells Tanya Marguerite is gone. And it looks like she's like getting nervous now because she's like, because now she's like in a forced relationship with this man that she almost killed multiple times.
But it's like all that idea that she's going to have follow through now, isn't she?
Yeah. Jackie offers her baby to Chardonnay and Kyle, which I thought was nice. I'm like, oh, that'll be cute. That's a good idea.
Also, them safe face as well because they've already announced their pregnancy.
Yeah. Tanya and Frank bang, and he sees Jeanette and like throws her off at one point. And then he remembers Jeanette and Tanya talking about killing him.
Yeah, that doesn't really put it together because it's the vague stuff where she's like, "You're going to a better place now, Frank," and all that. And
right,
it's
so you can't place it.
Yeah, with pictures. But yeah.
So yeah, it was a fun episode. I was loving it.
Well, man, like when the show antes up the drama, it really does. It just gets campier as well. Like the show is really over the top. Like it's great. I'm up to actually the last episode in series 5, and like it just kills me. I'm like, not kills me. Like I like the way it ends and everything. That just because it ends on a cliffhanger.
Well, you can't talk about it because I'm in series 1.
No, I know that. I'm going to tell you what happens, but that's
a lot of episodes.
It's not really a lot of episodes.
Well, it is.
But even so, like
I'm only in season 1.
It's more that like I just want a resolution to it. Even like 20 years late, nearly 20 years later, I'm like, I still want a resolution to that.
Like, yeah, it's that bad. Maybe it was supposed to come back, and it just never did.
Well, I'm pretty sure it got cancelled after the series was filmed, so they didn't know they were getting cancelled.
Yeah, that's what I figured. It's a shame they do that.
Having said that, though, I think some like fantastic writer should probably just, I don't know, write a fandom continuation, but like do it properly and not just stupid fan service. That would be good.
I'm sure they did. Did you look anything up?
No.
So episode 8.
I just figured I'd write it.
episode 8. They think it's over. It's called. Jason signed the contract. Tanya is not sure that she can stop the relationship with Frank because he might remember. So she's like, I gotta hang in there. Jason seems to be getting a little jealous, which is weird to me because Jason's a dirty dog all the time.
It is jealousy, but it's more like the claim jealousy. It's the fact that it's his wife. That's what it is.
Well, yeah.
Like, it's not with any like betrayal. It's not really a betrayal element in the sense of like Tanya having slept with someone. It's more the, like he even says, Jason's Turner's wife does not have affairs.
Right.
It's more about the preservation of the title, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. Jackie tries to talk Chardonnay into taking her baby. Kyle is like, no. I don't know why Kyle wouldn't, but whatever. Um, Ian, Donna, and Marie and Sal talk about Jason returning. Someone follows Marie. This is where I saw that. I didn't see it happen. I don't think Marie was in that last episode at all.
Mm.
Um, Kyle sees Sheena again. Bitch is just hanging around, lurking. Jason gives a speech, like a "I'm back" type thing. Thanks for the second chance, blah blah blah. Kyle tries to find who Sheena is related to, because that's what she said. She was related to somebody to like hang around the game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, she's in the players' lounge. She's in the lounge where all the players' wives are,
Right.
isn't she? Yeah, that's where she
Yeah.
was. Yeah, so that's all VIP. Like, normal people aren't allowed in there.
But nobody like knows her, it seems, at this point, or says they
Yeah,
know her.
yeah, that's what I mean. So she's like completely lied to get her way in there. That's why Kyle's kind of like, "The fuck are you? Sorry, the hell are you doing?" Stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Chardonnay's out with Tanya and she's drinking, and Tanya's like, "You sure want to do that?" Because she thinks she's pregnant still. But
Mm,
I guess at this point, Chardonnay didn't say anything.
yeah. Well, I don't think they do. They don't say that. I'm pretty
No,
sure.
they don't.
Yeah.
Marie and Jason bang again. Um, says he doesn't want Tanya anymore. All that stuff, which is a total lie. But whatever. I don't know. Like, I don't know what he thinks. Like, everybody's like intertwined. So what do you think? Like, I just don't understand him. Like, I get it, like what he's doing, but at the same time, I don't understand it either. Like, you're
What do
just
you mean?
banging this girl because Marie's hanging. So if you're telling this Marie that he doesn't want Tanya anymore, but the next scene he's like fighting for Tanya, like I don't understand what you think you're going to get out of this. Like, how are you going to keep all of this going, like and not get busted?
It's because he's a destructive piece of shit. Like, so Marie
I
is
see that.
literally he's the whole concept of Marie is like Jace is like the number one fan, like this person
Right,
who he can literally treat like shit, and she comes back and just still wants him. It's not just the sex; he knows that she likes him.
right.
It's it's that. It's literally that. He's a freaking narcissist, man. But
Mm,
and then through narcissist style, he's not. He's actually made of glass inside, and that's why he needs Tanya all the time because Tanya's the constant in his life. Tanya is always there, and
yeah,
Tanya always takes care of him. That whole scene where he literally goes to attack her and then gets on his knees and begs her not to leave him. That is
yeah,
that. Like if you're gonna look, so if you look at, I know it's like fictional and stuff, but if you look at that as like a behavioral trait, that is it. That is how Nazis will do it. They fully will
right,
sit there and cry after they've just done something terrible and beg you to stay because and that the person that they're begging to stay, the person they're begging to stay is their base. That is their
right.
base in the world. That is the person that grounds them, and they will always yeah.
So someone
But
takes Holly. Done it. Some
Jason's just a heightened soap opera version of like the worst freaking arrogant guy you could come across.
right. So someone takes Holly, and it's Donna and Ian's daughter for people who don't know.
Yeah.
Um, because I feel like she was hardly on, so want to make that
She pretty much
clear.
is there in like background. That's about it, really. And she's always mentioned, especially in the
Right.
context of like, Daniel and stuff. But yeah,
Salvatore talks about leaving the house. I guess I don't know where he's going to move. Donna wants to forget about everything that happened. He doesn't, and then they kiss again. So I'm like, okay,
it's because
whatever.
Salvatore has actual feelings for her, and she also has
Right, of
actual
course.
feelings for him.
Right, but I guess she's not admitting it or whatever.
Well, that was
Marie goes to pick Holly up, but she's not there. Salvatore loves Donna all of a sudden, which I feel like came out of nowhere. But again, I don't know
not
the time
really.
span on these shows.
So if you're looking at, it still passes over. It's still about 6 months to a six, like 6 to 8 months in the seasons. So there's big gaps between them as well. So I think between like series 1 and 2, I think by series 2, the earlier episodes, Jackie's ready to pop with the baby. So it's been like 8 or 9 months.
Mm.
Like there's
Then that makes sense if he's been there that long. But like, just like watching wise, I'm like, they didn't even share scenes together. So it's like
so
random.
transitions. No, but like transitions in time happen in the episodes.
Right.
Yeah.
So Marie gets home. Holly's not there. She thought maybe, like, I guess Donna picked her up or something.
Something. Yeah.
Chardonnay says she is going to say that to the press and stuff that she lost the baby. Comes up with that idea.
Yeah.
Donna and Ian panic about Holly. Jason, Jason feels shitty. Oh, because Frank is banging Tanya. So I guess he's getting it back.
Just a bit. It's nice
And
to see
he's not.
Jason get it back a little bit, even if it is with someone Tanya's not really into.
Right. Someone calls with like Holly information, and he asks for a ransom of £500,000, which
She
I don't
thinks.
know what that is. Is that $500,000, or is it like a different amount?
I actually think at that time it probably would have been a lot more in my dollars.
More
Yeah, and I'd say in
and
your dollars
less
it would
than
be
my
less.
dollars.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'd say so. But
Um,
at the time, it still I think would have been. Oh, I mean, I don't remember the bloody inflation rates or percentages.
I don't
I'd say,
remember. I don't
yeah,
know that
like
stuff.
I don't know what the proper exchange would be between anything. It is still like £500,000 essentially.
Yeah. But this person says they're being watched and all this. If you go to the cops, the usual ransom shit.
Yeah.
Um, Sal says he will get the money for them, which I thought was very nice. I was like, wow, I guess because they must spend all their money.
And he's probably just got it more accessible, man.
Tanya and Hazel meet up and they talk about like creating a scandal for Frank. Um, is that to get what is that for? I forget. Is that to get her out of the situation?
Yeah.
Hazel and Jason. She wants. Oh yeah, she wants Frank to get busted banging Tanya. I guess.
So she doesn't tell her. She doesn't tell her. Like, it's basically to stop Frank from trying to pursue more. So if they
Okay.
put them in doing something, it stunts it because they can't, that sort of stuff. But I'm pretty sure
Uh,
Hazel doesn't know everything.
the kidnapper calls. He wants them to meet at like some mall looking thing. It's called something else, but it looks like a mall to me.
It's a shop, like a shopping center.
Yeah,
That's what he called it.
which which in America is a mall.
Yeah.
Do you have malls
So,
there? I don't even know.
yeah, like so shopping centers here, like what we call like the malls here, you can have them as like your classic kind of mall setup where it's heaps.
Right.
Or you can have the smaller ones that might only have like one level that like it's more of like, but we call them shopping centers here, but for both. So like I don't know, maybe what we would call like a center, like a smaller center here would be like maybe I don't know, like a I don't know how big like like little shops are over there. So maybe it would just be some I don't know.
Yeah,
Like we call
but
malls
it's
shopping centers and we call smaller malls shopping centers. I don't know what else. Yeah.
well, whoever listens, it's a mall type thing, shopping center if you're somewhere else.
Well, yeah, I think the reason why Australia calls them shopping centers and stuff is because we're like one of the last English colonies, like as far as like being, pushed out there in the world. We're like in the 1700s.
Right.
We still have like a heavy
Um,
English influence here.
Ian decides to call the police. Meanwhile, the pool guy comes and then he mentions how he wants the 500K. Donna flips out. So she realizes it's him and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I wasn't too excited about this. I was like, really, the pool guy? Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I thought that was silly. Um, Frank and Tanya meet up. Marie tells Jason about Holly being gone, and she was with him at the time. that she was supposed to get Holly from school. So she
Yeah, so
feels like responsible.
yeah, and she goes off at him over it too because Jason doesn't really give a shit.
Yeah, and she threatens them too
Mm,
of exposing that they're still together or doing fucking whatever they're doing.
yeah,
Um, Meanwhile, Donna's at the mall. The cops are there. Salvatore tells Ian he doesn't deserve Donna. I was like, oh, we're going there already? Shit. But again, like you said, it was months or whatever. I don't know.
weeks.
Um, Frank flips on Tanya. She falls and cuts herself, I think. And he has like these flashes of memory.
He flips on
Um,
her because he can tell that she's sort of bait and switching him, and so he basically calls her out on it and throws her hand away or whatever because she goes to slap him, and she basically dramatically goes and cuts herself through the glass. Like when she
yeah.
falls, I don't know. Like he did throw her, but I was like, damn, she put herself through that coffee table. Just saying. But
The
no,
mall stuff the mall stuff was confusing me. So the cops stop Donna and she like falls to the floor. And I was like, what is happening?
because the guy's not there to get the money. No one's there because he saw the cops, and she doesn't have a key.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Well,
yeah.
you gotta remember I watched this a few days ago and I limited my notes toward the end,
Oh no,
so
no, I just
I
meant more
forget.
that more that like she was supposed to go there with the money to drop it off, and she was supposed to get. I think supposed to get either Holly was supposed to be there, or Holly was. She's going to get told where Holly was, but I think it was Holly
Okay.
was supposed to be there. But I think it was Ian went and grabbed the cops because they were doing this all without the cops at first.
Okay. So then I guess that's left open ended because that's kind of where it ended there.
Yeah,
So I guess
yeah,
the pool man will be back in season two, I guess. And my last note is Jason attacks Frank. He like tries to choke him out or whatever, and then Frank remembers, and that's
yeah.
it.
So that scene with Tanya and Frank after the confrontation, and she sort of cuts her arm. Jason gets home to sort of catch them, and
Right.
their confrontation escalates. And as like he's threatening Frank on the bed, Frank starts to have the proper flashes and like can connect it all together. And yeah, ends with him remembering that they put him in a coma.
Oops.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of knew that was going to be the finale. I mean, I don't know what other way it would have gone.
Hmm.
The Jeanette stuff surprised me though, because I was like, I didn't expect that.
Well, like
Um,
the lady who plays her too is so nurturing sounding and sweet and nice, and she even has that whole demeanor in her face, the way they do her hair, like everything about her is kindness, and then she just has this dirty perverted underside which is just wild. and
yeah.
she's
Right.
like, and says crazy things in like at first you think she's making those like sort of PC jokes about sex, but then when you add rape comatose rape into it, it all takes on like a gross subtext, like a grosser level. Like when she leans into Tanya and she's like, oh, coma patients, blah blah. Sometimes their part was it, some of their body parts, they rise up all the time without them knowing. And she's like, well, they're men, aren't they? And like has a joke with Tanya about it, like a little PC
Right.
joke about comatose dudes getting hard-ons, and like it's just all of that stuff that seems sort of like a health professional just kind of laughing off about the bodily functions and stuff. All this takes this weird sinister turn after those scenes. And the I will say that the actor does come, like Jeanette does come back.
Okay.
So she does reappear. I won't say in what capacity, but I will tell you that she does reappear.
See, and that's what sucks about you knowing, because now I can't even give theories because you already know.
No, but no, but that's good for me though, because like nobody, like you haven't seen it before. So
Well, yeah, it's good for you, but not for me, because then I could be like, this isn't this, and then you might be like, well.
well, I don't do that though. I pretty much go, well, I'm not going to tell you. I've said that before. I just go,
Yeah, I really don't know. So I'm guessing they'll just catch this guy. I don't know how that's going to play out, the Donna and Ian stuff.
Yeah.
with Holly missing. I don't know how that's going to play out at all. Um,
So, what was it?
I'm
I think
guessing Chardonnay and Kyle are going to get Jackie's baby.
series
Maybe.
two. I think I want to say the series two opener is like a longer episode, but I could be wrong. I don't know if that started until like series three, where they gave them some of their opening and closes were like an hour 10 minutes, something like
Yeah,
that. I can't.
I was expecting the finale to be that long, but it wasn't. It was only like 51 minutes or something like that.
Was still decent, but
I think if
what
they're
was
all
it?
that, they all have 50 minutes. I thought they were all 50.
What was it at series two? Series two is 8 episodes though, so it's still the same amount as this one. They get a bit bigger, like one episode bigger in three and four.
Who else is there? Oh, Jason and Tanya. I have no idea where their story is going. I have no clue. I'm guessing like he's just gonna keep cheating with everybody, and I'm
The show,
guessing.
the show's pretty wild. Like, there's a couple of stories in series two that I've never really liked. So for me, it's not a bad series. It's just that it happens to just be the series where there's like one or two plots that I don't really care about. But overall, it's still good, and it escalates. I think in this one a little bit more effectively, probably because they didn't have to do any intro elements. You know, like series one's obviously introing the characters, the setting, yada yada yada. So
Right,
for
right.
this, it's more flows on. And what I will say though, and it's good though. If you thought Jason was an asshole this series, it is so much worse in this one.
Well, yeah, you did say that before.
Yeah, it's so
Um,
much worse. Like,
well, that's annoying. I wonder if maybe they're setting it up like a Who Shot JR.
so like, have
That's the
you?
only thing they usually do to like stop that from
Yeah,
from it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was it? Have you got your series two yet? Has it come in the mail yet?
Yeah, I got two and three. Yep.
Oh, nice.
Hmm.
Three is one of my favorites. Three is one of my favorites, if not my favorite series.
Yeah. Um, and I'm guessing there's like oh, I don't know I'm assuming something's gonna happen with the Sheena girl, but I don't know what.
Mm.
It's not going like a direction that I thought it was going.
But that's good though. It's good that you can't predict it. I'm also like, so I guess more so though. Like, did you enjoy? Like, have you been enjoying it so far? Like,
Yeah,
as like a new viewer?
yeah.
Yeah, because I was
I
like,
wouldn't trust me. I wouldn't watch it if I couldn't enjoy it.
oh well, you know, it's good that
Although
you know.
sometimes I do. I did Yellowstone the first season, and that is a slow ass series. That's a hard watch.
Well, I think it's more like it doesn't really strike me as the one that's going to have melodrama as much as drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, when you have dramas rather than melodramas, they tend to be a bit more grounded in realism. Um, because like, yeah, and a lot of shows are afraid to call themselves soapies these days, and they dress up their melodrama with thematic intentions. And I'm like, that's just storytelling, gentlemen. It's still melodrama, but okay.
So were you able to predict it when you first watched the series?
Um,
Like, were you like always surprised?
I wasn't I wasn't surprised with some things, but there are a couple of moments with Jason in series two that I was like, wow. Yeah, I was like, wow, you're a cunt. Like, and the actor owns it. He's fantastic.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got to say about it. Anything else you want to add?
Oh, series two is when they start getting more campy with the fashions, like more up, like more big.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
And then
I
what year is this? 2004?
no, I think series one was 2002, 2001, 2002.
Oh, okay.
No, it started in 2002 and went till 2006.
Okay.
So we'd probably be like in 2000. If for series two, it'd either be at the end of 2002 or 2003. I'd say 2003 though, because when I was watching series three recently on the back of the DVD, it has 2004, so I'd assume that, you know,
Yeah, so 20 years ago ish.
yeah. What series two?
Wow.
I was, oh god, in series two when that was produced, I was in grade 9.
Yeah, me too.
Jeez,
Um, I
yeah, Buffy ended.
I don't understand why they don't stream it. Even on BritBox, it's not streaming, which is really weird.
I heard is ITV got a whole app or something because I heard that it was available through some app.
I just looked it up again today and I didn't see anywhere.
I have no idea, man. I also
It's
read
really
somewhere that
strange.
I read somewhere that since its cancellation and stuff, both it and its spin-off have developed a bit of a cult following. And I'm like, well, you know, it can't be too big because I hear no news of revivals. There are no like, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
streaming anywhere. Like, but it is such a worth. Like, it is so worth it. It's just a big escapist soapy melodrama, and it's great.
Yeah.
They have some really like they execute some classic soapy plots in the best ways, and the characters are very over the top and big, and that's what you want. I mean, like it
Oh, for
really,
sure.
you know, it's a proper soapy, and they just did it so well. And so with Luca just being awesome as Tanya, and she gets, dude, there are so many, like, she's awesome in series one. She just keeps getting better.
What else is she in? Does she do anything else that you know of or no?
Uh, she did a, I know she did a long running sort of teen drama. I think
Oh.
Reservation Road or like something like that. It's
Oh,
about,
I think I know what you're talking about. I think I saw that on somebody's list.
yeah, it's supposed
That
to be
sounds
really good.
familiar.
I haven't been able to get it myself, but it's supposed to be quite good. And they cycle the kids out every few years. And the show's is gone forever. It's got like 9 or 10 seasons.
Well,
Um,
the next season, when we do season two, I'll start looking people up just to give people
pretty sure she
information
was.
about them.
She did EastEnders as well. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Well,
I
that you know
know
that gift that
Jackie did, I
that gift,
think.
yeah, she did too. But that gift I've sent you of that blonde woman that I'm like flipping out in the white. That's so
Yeah.
Luca. I'm pretty sure that's EastEnders.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, I remember seeing that a while ago.
She did it a while back, I think 2010, but I think she did a more recent stint in Hollyoaks.
Well, the next series I'll do when we do season two, I'm gonna look up like I'll do couples each episode we do and like what they've done, and I'll do that because I didn't really do that this much this time. But I was just getting to know the series, so I didn't want to really
That's fine.
like
Yeah,
dig
well, like
in.
I think like that sort of stuff I figured would happen more as we went on, anyways, just because like
Yeah,
you get to know the actors' characters
I
and
did
stuff
look
like
up the writers. I did say that in one of the ones we did.
that.
I remember the writers and creators. I did look
I
that
just hope I'm pronouncing her last name correctly because I don't know if I am, but yeah.
up. That's all right. All right. Well, we'll wrap up this episode of Footballers' Wives. We'll bring you more in the future. Thanks for joining Queers and Soaps. Subscribe, follow our Patreon, subscribe to that. $3 for daytime, $6 for daytime and prime time. We do a lot of watches over there. Trying to get this guy to do a watch with us one day. Have
All
a good one, everyone. Bye.
right.